Shalom, Ka'ala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rukok Radash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, who are known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, it's going to be a quick lesson. We're going to talk about the coming famine of food. And we're going to read just some of the news articles to show you that we are starting to see the scarcity of food in the markets and just in general availability. But let's read this first. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 19. It says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendments. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy." So, like we just read in the scripture, famine was mentioned multiple times in that future prophecy. Okay, when Uriel was explaining to Ezra what the future holds for us Israelites, this is one of the prophecies that the angel told Ezra, right? And we're now starting to see these prophecies come to light. And why is that? Well, because we are living in the end days. These are the end days spoken about in the Bible, people, right? A lot of people, don't even get the concept of that. Even the people some people who are in this truth don't really understand what that means, right? A lot of those people are just in this whole Hebrew Israelite thing because they think it's a fad, right? They don't understand that this is our true lost heritage, and we're waking up to being slaves in a kingdom that is not our own, right? And that we soon will experience out of this world events, literally, right? Well, again, I just wanted to ultimately highlight this part here, is that we will be facing a shortage of food, so much so that food is going to become expensive, it's going to become scarce. So even if you do have money, it's going to be hard to find a whole meal, man. People are going to be eating, one food item, for dinner or lunch, right? And chances are you probably won't even have both of those. You're going to have either lunch or dinner, right? And pretty much you're going to be eating a block of cheese if you find it, right? Or something to that effect. But let's go and read this real quick. It says, "It may feel like Britain has ground to a halt, but it's C-19, not Brexit, that is to blame." All right, and it tells you here that you look at these shelves, man. There's nothing on these shelves, right? What does this lady have? And she's buying some things, right? But the point being is that pretty soon these empty shelves are going to become more of a common thing, right? Right now, I've seen it at my local Target and other stores here, Stater Brothers in Southern California, where they actually have less items on the counter, but what they're doing is that they're spacing them out, right? Or they just have whole aisles. Like over here, what they're doing, they're not like filling them up with empty plastic containers like I've seen in other videos, but what they're doing, they're literally blocking off certain aisles, and they're saying that they're under remodeling and stuff, right? But the thing is that pretty soon all that shelf space is not going to be able to be hidden, right? People are going to realize that they're just missing food, right? And the thing is that this ultimately will come down. Right now, it's just a bit of inconvenience, right? Instead of having ground beef, you're going to have, right now you have, steak, or vice versa. Or instead of having hamburgers, you're having hot dogs, right? Or instead of having chicken, you're getting turkey, right? But it's going to come to the point where this inconvenience is going to turn into a lack of necessities, right? And then eventually it's going to turn into a famine. But again, this is all on purpose. And why is that? Well, because right now these devils are pushing for their new world order, right? And what does that mean? That means that they are going to reduce the population to a point where they're going to their goal is to have 500 million people upon Earth. And the thing is that 500 million doesn't include us Israelites, us Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It only includes the top elites. Why do you think Elon Musk of Tesla fame, why do you think he announced that he's going to be releasing a humanoid robot? Right? Well, because these devils, they're still going to need some sort of workforce, right? But they don't want you. They want to have robots that they can control, right? And the ones that they are going to have, the human slaves that they're going to have, or servants, are going to be people who are going to be docile and obedient, right? These are going to be your politician classes, your people who are your what you would call elites of our people, right? The Shaqs, the Michael Jordans, right? The Bill Cosby, like those type of people, man. Those sellouts who have sold us out, and that's even if they make it there, right? Because the chances are that they're going to be killed off. But again, that's besides the point, right? The whole point being is that this famine is coming for all of us, except for the elites at the very top. They're going to be the ones still eating deliciously, right? See, this famine is not for them. This famine is for the rest of the population, the people that they see as cattle. Because you see, they're going to start this depopulation. And how does that depopulation start? Well, it starts by reducing the feed and increasing, the strain upon the cattle. Now, they can't come out and cull the whole human society that they don't want, because then they'll have full-blown rebellion, which they won't be able to fight against, right? But what they got to do is they got to do that slow kill, right? They got to, inject us with poisons, right? Things that take years to take effect, make people sterile, so that way they can't have children. That way those people will become sickly and die off, right? Because they can't have the police force and the army and the military see that they're being killed off, that their families are being murdered. Because then what's going to happen is that, like I said, they're going to have full-blown rebellion. These devils are going for the slow kill, right? They're going to go ahead and blame it on, just bad luck. That we didn't know that this was being caused. Why do you think the FDA approved that jab, man? Right? That same person who's running the FDA right now was responsible for approving drugs within the FDA that shouldn't have been approved recently, right? She's her name's Woodcock or something like that, and she was responsible for approving some controversial drugs that are considered like even more addictive than fentanyl, right? And that caused a big uproar within the whole doctor and pharmaceutical industry, right? But she was appointed during the Biden administration. Now, I wonder why, right? You see, these people, they're going to go ahead and approve what they need to approve. They're going to stamp what they need to stamp, just so that way they give that appearance of legality, right? And that's besides the point, because you can't even sue these people if some bad shit happens. So you see, it's all on the surface a facade, right? And they're hoping for the naive of our people, right, to fall for that, man. You just, the other day, you had Biden, right, almost slipped, and it sounded like he was going to say the Israelites when he was saying this is for all adults, right? So you see, these devils, they have an agenda. They have an agenda to put us down, right? But besides them trying to jab us up with poisons, the other agenda is going to be this, is to starve us out, as it tells you in this article. Let's read it. It says, employees empty supermarket shelves, chicken carcasses rotting in factories, and fleets of lorries lying idly in yards. No, this is not a scene from an apocalyptic movie. It is modern Britain. If reports are to be believed, right? You see that? This is the state of England right now, people. And I'm sure if I dug far enough, I'd find these same reports for here in America. But, I don't got time. I'm just doing this quick lesson on my way to work, right? But again, this is ultimately what you are leaning against, right? What did the scripture say? He that's gonna depend on the society, it's gonna be as if he was leaning on a broken reed, and it's gonna stab himself. It's gonna stab him, right? So if you trust in this society, if you trust that everything's gonna be okay, then you're gonna hurt yourself, man. You're going to fall, just like these devils are planning for you to fall, man. So what does this mean? What does this mean for us Israelites, us Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? What should we be doing right now, right? First and foremost, we should be reconnecting with our power, right? The Heavenly Father, whose true name is Yahweh, which is Hebrew for He is, and His Son, Yahweh Shai, which is Hebrew for He is salvation, okay? These are our powers. These are the higher beings, which once we connect to them, they'll bless us. They'll give us the forgiveness that we need, so that way we can be sin-free, and hence our prayers will be heard and answered. Next, what you got to do is, after you connect to the Lord, you've prayed for mercy, you prayed for guidance during this time, you prayed for that He gives you, that He awakens you to what's really going on and gives you a sure step in these times. Then it's time for you to, put a plan together, right? And I'm not saying that you need to stock up and build a fallout bunker and everything. No, man, because you don't know what's going to happen in that day, what these devils are going to do. However, we do know that famine is coming, right? And that food is going to be more scarce, and that these devils are planning on you being hungry to entice you. So what do? You buy a little extra food, a little extra water, a little extra preparedness supplies, okay? Now, yes, you could go over to Walmart. They have like some of those emergency supply kits they have there. Though what I recommend is, don't do that. Don't go buy yourself some bug out bag, kits and everything, because there's a lot of shit in there that you're not even going to use. Pretty much just buy what you're already buying for yourself. Just get a little extra of it, okay? Get some more, ramen noodles. Get some more, cans of tuna. Get, buy a bit more vegetables that are able to be stored, right? Dry goods, right? Ideally, beans and rice, because again, with beans and rice, those can make a protein, okay? And that's ultimately what you need. Is you need a protein. So beans and big bags of rice, big bags of bean are ideal. Now, what you also want to do is you want to make sure that food is stored well, right? If you can, you want to go on Amazon and buy yourself some Mylar bags, right? Mylar bags. Those are those, they look like chrome bags, right? But the thing is you could fill them up with beans or rice or flour, right? Because that's another thing too, man. You should learn how to make tortillas and how to make bread, right? And that's why all you need is to buy flour, and you buy yeast, right? And you can make your own bread. And you can store this for years, right? Up to 10 years you can store this type of food. Well, again, back to how you store it. Go to Amazon, you buy 5-pound Mylar bags and oxygen eaters, right? Those little packets you usually find in plastic containers or things you buy from China. What it does, it eats oxygen, and that oxygen is what kills or what makes food rot. So what you do is you put the beans, rice, or flour into these Mylar bags. You put some oxygen absorbers in there, and then you with an iron, you close the end of the mylar bags, right? And then those mylar bags, ideally, you want to put them in like a 5-gallon container bucket with a lid, like what you would buy at Home Depots or Lowe's. Okay. Well, now you've stored yourself 5 pounds of rice, 5 pounds of beans, 5 pounds of flour, and you'll be good, right? And those mylar bags are only like $25 for like a packet of 20 on Amazon, and they also give you those oxygen heaters, right? So that would be a good, recommendation right there. That's what I would recommend that a lot of you do, okay? And keep this in the trunk of your car, or keep it someplace safe in your house where it's like nice and cool, right? Because again, if ideally at your house, if you can't, in your trunk of your car, man, because your car is always going to be with you, right? Next, go buy yourself some things you might need, man, like a portable radio, right? Something that in case the lights do go out, right, that you get like a wind-up radio or a solar power radio, right? This way you could just listen to the news, what's going on, right? And then get yourself possibly this isn't that necessary, but a map would always be a good idea, right? Because you gotta be ready in those days to be without electricity, to be without your phone, right? So many of us have fallen for this trap of dependence upon our phones, that when your phones die or you lose your phone, you don't know how to look up directions. We don't know how to look up directions. We don't know how to do certain things, man, right? When I was growing up, man, I remember you used to memorize a whole bunch of friends' phone numbers in your head, right? You remember your phone. Most people don't even know their significant other's phone numbers, man. That's how bad these phones have made our memories. We've become so dependent upon them, right? But again, that's it, Akim. I just wanted to touch upon this article, right? I thought it was a good, topic to go through this morning, right? Especially seeing how things are starting to get worse. People are starting to not realize what's really happening, right? And all these things that are happening, like the scriptures say, man, all these things that are happening to our world, a lot of people don't even realize why they're happening. They just think it's a bad year, it's a bad season, right? But the wise and those of us who are awoken, we know what's going on. We know that the Lord's on his way back. But a lot of these woke, smart dummies out here, they have no clue, right? They're going to be caught unawares. So, I just want to make sure that we're not like that, Akim. So, I myself, I'm also preparing. So, I'm only recommending to you the things that I myself am doing, right? So, but again, remember, these preparations, these things are not going to save us in the end days, man. The thing that's going to save us is relying on the Lord, right? And remember, it's going to be the Lord ultimately that's going to put it on your spirit to make sure that you do what you need to do for him to save you, okay? So with all that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakok Radash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.